Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Packers are in overtime. Before overtime was a thing, I scheduled myself to go live at 3:15, and I'm going live at 3:15. So with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game, you're going to get my raw reaction to what this game is going to be. 3 seconds left on the play clock. Rodgers fakes the handoff under pressure, and he is going to get sacked at the 48-yard line. That is going to set up third down and long. Packers have 2 timeouts, 3:07 left on the clock. And if you're just tuning in, this has been quite the game. I don't even know how to describe what is going on right now. So many missed field goals that I can't even count them. Mason Crosby has missed more field goals today than he has missed in the last 2 seasons combined. McPherson for the Bengals missed 2 field goals. Just hit the flag at the top left. 2:37 left, 4 seconds left on the play clock. Rodgers in shotgun, and it appears with play clock winding down, Green Bay is going to take a timeout. 22-22 with 2:33 left in this game. We're going to have a 3rd and 16 from LaFleur, Rodgers, and company. You have to go to Adams here. To be honest, I don't particularly trust anybody else. Adams has been better than anyone today. Rodgers has 329 passing yards today. Other than that one interception, which in my opinion was just a little miscommunication between the two of them, Aaron Rodgers has looked very good. The Green Bay Packers have looked very good. So this is, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to tell you. This game has been absolutely incredible. My heart is not prepared. For those of you watching on Twitter, hello, how are you doing? This is pure chaos. Mason Crosby is warming up to kick what could potentially be a game-winning field goal, although at this point, I would just send Corey out. I don't even know. All right, 3rd and 16. 2:33 left in the game from the 48-yard line of the Bengals. Rodgers in an empty set, 3 split out right. Rodgers with the snap, looking, pressured, throws over the middle to Randall Cobb for the first down. Oh my goodness. In double coverage with Devontae Adams nearby. That's going to leave the Packers going towards 2 minutes left in overtime. It appears there's a couple guys shaken up for Cincinnati. Randall Cobb, just a simple down and over. Nothing complicated. Sat down in the middle of that zone. Rodgers got hit on the play. Did not matter. Oh my goodness. This is incredible. 2:09 left in this game. And I don't have words for what's been going on. Just to recap, missed extra point by Mason Crosby, which, other than all the missed field goals, has been the difference in this game. And, oh my gosh, so many missed field goals, like I said already. TV is going to commercial. So while they're going to commercial, I'll just quickly chat with all y'all. So the biggest thing I've seen so far is what I talked about earlier. I needed the Green Bay Packers to not play hero ball, and I have already seen way too much hero ball from the Green Bay Packers. I have seen them throwing the ball deep when they don't need to throw the ball deep. I have seen way too much chaos, way too much not the type of offense that we need to run. That's the base that I can say. That's all I can tell you so far. Packers are not running the offense that they need to be running, and it has killed them. Now, don't get me wrong. Rodgers has put them in a position to win this game, what, now 3 times? But so far, I mean, Matt LaFleur, the last time with 8 minutes left in overtime on 3rd down, brings out Mason Crosby because he doesn't trust his running game to keep the ball going. But you have Aaron Rodgers. You have the MVP. Now we have a booth review on the spot, it appears. So this is going to be interesting. Apparently so initially they ruled Cobb just shy of the first down. So we're going to be getting a booth review on whether or not Cobb actually got the first down. This is massive. If they don't get the first down, they have to kick the field goal. If they do get the first down, they can work a little bit more, try to get Mason Crosby closer. To be honest, I don't think it particularly matters where he is. At this point, he's missed an extra point. He's missed a long field goal. He's missed a mid-range field goal. I don't think it particularly matters, but still, oh my gosh, what is this? I don't even know. I don't have words for what's going on right now. My dad's texting me. It's the most ridiculous game I've ever seen. Dad, come watch the show. Come watch the show, Dad. This is pure chaos. Everybody watching, welcome. I'm doing my little play-by-play right now because I plan to go live at 3:15. It hit 3:15. I go live even in the overtime chaos. So with 2:09 left in this game, what have you guys seen so far? What are your observations? Other than, first and foremost, please never let Jonathan Vilma broadcast another Green Bay Packers game again, because what is this? I'm not a big superstitious guy. I'm not a big jinx guy. But oh my goodness, it feels like he and that broadcast jinxed Mason Crosby. They just kept bringing it up. Oh, he's made 24 in a row. Oh, he's made 25. Will he make 26? I don't know, Jonathan, why don't you shut up and call the game? Maybe a little bit rude. I don't know, but I am angry and confused. How are they reviewing that this wasn't a first down? Are they just trying to get the spot super specific, or this looks very clear to me. Granted, I'm sitting at home with my peanut butter pretzels watching the Packers game, but still, how is this even? Come on, Bill, get your act together, bro. I mean, yeah, one of the only good things Jonathan Vilma has said all day. He just said maybe this is even worse for Crosby than calling a timeout to ice him, because now you're just making him stand on the field and wait to kick this field goal hypothetically. Which again, I don't know if Corey Bajorquez, I still don't know how to say his name. I don't know if Corey can kick field goals. Wait. Ruling on the field stands. 4th and inches. 2:09 left in the game. 22-22. Both clocks will run on the whistle. And Matt LaFleur is going for it. Now, they do have a timeout. They could be trying to get them to jump off sides. But Aaron Rodgers and the offense are staying on the field. 4th and inches. 2:09 left in the game from the Cincy 31. Aaron Rodgers going hard count here. It appears he's just trying to get him to jump off sides. He's looking around. And 2 minutes. 2-minute warning of overtime. So they didn't even have to call a timeout because clock started. This is absolutely chaotic. So after the 2-minute warning, Mason Crosby is going to come out again to attempt yet another game-winning field goal. What in the world is going on right now? I don't even know, but I absolutely love to see this. So far, this has been an entertaining game, to say the least. This quote from Aaron Rodgers still stands true. How can you not be romantic about football? This is the best way. I cannot think, the only way I could think of a better way to spend my Sunday is if my lady was here. She's home with her family. So other than that, this is the best way to spend a Sunday. Watching my favorite football team who has a chance to go win this game. And we'll get to this a little bit later, but there are absolutely things I said in the pre-snap that did not come true. There are absolutely things I said in the pre-snap that were very false. The number one being, you shouldn't be worried about the Cincinnati Bengals. I have been very impressed. But we have Mason Crosby coming back on the field. 2 minutes left. This is going to be a kick from the 31-yard line. 49-yard attempt for the win from the left hash. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's good. He hit it. 49 yards for the win, Mason Crosby. Oh my goodness. How can you not be romantic about football? Mason Crosby. Oh my gosh. Wow. I've watched a lot of crazy Packers games in my lifetime, but that was absolutely the most chaotic football game that I have ever seen. The special teams grades on that game are going to be awful, and I'm going to love it. So, Green Bay Packers win 25-22 in overtime over the Cincinnati Bengals. Mason Crosby misses 3 field goals, an extra point, and still comes in 2 minutes left in overtime, ices the game with a 49-yard field goal. Ladies and gentlemen, how can you not be romantic about football? I do not know. So, with that, welcome to the Post Route, a game on Wisconsin presented by Artec Ventures. Once again, thank you to Artec Ventures for taking care of us, sponsoring this show. As always, we love you. Amazing company, doing great things since 2020. So, with that, Packers win 25-22. I don't even know where to begin. All I really have to say is we're 4-1. Like, with everything, if you told me on paper, there's going to be a game where Mason Crosby misses 3 field goals, David Bakhtiari won't play, MVS won't play half those games, Elton Jenkins won't play half those games, and you were going to tell me that the Green Bay Packers were 4-1 and very clearly the best team in the NFC North, very clearly the only team with true playoff chances in the NFC North, that they were still in that position. To be honest, I would laugh in your face. But we're sitting here at 4-1. I don't even know what to say. The Vikings are 2-3. They're trash. The Lions are 0-5. They just try to lose. The Bears are going to be 2-3 by the end of this day because they're definitely going to lose to the Raiders. 6:41 in the first quarter in that game. Scoreless so far. But, oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say. Oh my gosh. That was one of the best games that I've ever watched in my entire life. In terms of actual football, the product on the field, the quality of play, that game was absolute trash. But in terms of entertainment value, oh my goodness. I was a little sleepy during the third quarter, I must admit. I laid down, took a little 5-minute power nap. But once that fourth quarter hit, once Joey B and Jamar Chase went out there and did their thing, oh my goodness. That was one of the most entertaining football games that I have watched in a very, very long time. So, welcome to the Post Route, a game on Wisconsin. My name is MJ Hurley, and I'm going to walk you through in the next 20, 25 minutes the offensive and defensive sides of this game, and plenty of special teams. Do not worry. So, the most important thing, let's take a look back to my keys to the game at the beginning of the day on the pre-snap. Offensively, my keys to the game were run the football and get the ball out quick. Matt LaFleur did not do either of those very well. Only a total of 22 rushing attempts from the Green Bay Packers in a game where it really looked like A.J. Dillon could do what he wanted to do. Aaron Jones did not look great, I'll be honest. Outside of that 57-yard run, he had like 13 carries for 46 yards, that turns out to. So outside of that really big run at the end of the fourth quarter, beginning of overtime, I don't even remember. Outside of that 57-yard run from Aaron Jones, he did not look very good. But A.J. Dillon looked pretty good. He was running through, and I understand. You have a makeshift offensive line. You have a group of guys who aren't really getting much push. I understand. Not wanting to run the football, but you have to do it to make this offense work. One of the reasons you have to do that is, I don't know if you guys have noticed, Packers' bootleg offense has not worked this year because nobody buys the initial selling of the running game. They're like, oh, for half a second maybe they think about it, but realistically they don't even bite. They just go on the play fake. Absolutely to this. Respect the Bengals. They fought very hard. This was a game that I even said at the beginning of the day, I don't expect the Packers to struggle. Cincinnati Bengals did very well. They really gave me a run for my money. They gave the Packers a run for their money. Going to beat-ups tonight. Yes, sir. Let's roll. Anyway, Bengals, they did a hell of a job. They fought. Matt LaFleur said he wanted the Packers to wake up with their piss hot. And they might have. Some people did, some people didn't. Bengals woke up. They were ready to roll. So a lot of respect to the Cincinnati Bengals and their work today. Joe Mixon definitely was limited. I really think if the Bengals would have woken up and run the football more, run the football earlier and more often, they would have gotten a little bit more action and they would have caused more chaos than they were able to, and they would have done a lot more damage. Unfortunately for the Bengals, that didn't happen. I don't know why. And again, I'm not complaining. That's just the way it is. So, offensively, Packers really needed to run the football just a little bit more. However, throwing the football, Davante Adams, 11 catches for 206 yards and a touchdown. He had a 59-yard bomb. And something that was noted on Packers Twitter, Davante Adams' first 200-yard game in his career. Every great receiver, I forget who said it. I want to say it was Zach. I want to say it was Zach Cruz, I believe, said every great wide receiver, not every elite wide receiver, every great wide receiver has truly had a 200-yard game. And I think that Davante had his 200-yard game today. So that's a different story. But offensively, I didn't love their game plan. I didn't love what they were doing, but it worked, right? You just got to go out there and win football games. Aaron Rodgers ended with 344 yards, 2 touchdowns, 102.9 quarterback rating. So not terrible. Not his best performance ever. I still think something we've talked about on the post route the last few weeks. Aaron Rodgers does not look like himself when it comes to the deep ball. And that is something that if you want to win these football games, you got to be able to hit the deep ball. Now, I'll give him credit. Davante Adams is not always the true deep shot wide receiver for the Packers. That's normally MVS. So with MVS out the last few weeks, taking the Saints game out of the equation, then week 2 and 3. So you're really looking at like a true 2-week sample of Aaron Rodgers with his best deep ball weapons across the board. So to me, take a break, calm down a little bit. It may not be the worst thing in the world, but it is something to take a look at. He's not terrible. He's just not as accurate as I would like him to be. So the other thing offensively that I want to take a look at is, where is Bobby Tonyan? Where has he been? I don't know what's going on, whether it's the Packers have a lot more weapons maybe this year than they did. Rodgers has Randall Cobb back. Lazard isn't doing much, and Bobby Tonyan is not doing much. So I don't know why that is, but it seems to be, and again, I'm going to make a lot of comments about things I see on Packers Twitter. I don't always remember who it was, so if I bring something up that you said on Twitter and don't give you credit where credit is due, I apologize. I'm doing my best to remember everything that I see on Twitter throughout the day. But what I saw was basically Adams and Rodgers are the modern day version of what Favre and Sterling Sharp were, where basically you just know 50% of the time Rodgers is going to throw the football to Davante Adams, and there's nothing you can do about it the majority of the time. Rodgers threw the ball to Davante Adams 16 times today. They missed on 5 of those. And honestly, those 5, the majority of the time, were probably either throwing the football away or a mistake on Rodgers' a mistake on Rodgers' part, not necessarily the defense actually being able to do anything about it. The separation that Davante Adams can create is unmatched in the NFL. I don't care who you give me. Davante Adams has better separation than every single wide receiver in the NFL, and I don't have a doubt in my mind about that. So, with that in mind, offensively, they did okay, right? Keys to the game, they hit some of them. A.J. Dillon had a big day receiving, which is something I love to see. So, I would say I hit on the A.J. Dillon prediction. I did not particularly get the production out of the running game that I wanted, but you get A.J. Dillon 50 yards receiving. That's something I love to see. That's something we can definitely improve on moving forward. Defensively, I said I need our safeties to step up. And what did Adrian Amos do? Well, he played some really bad soft coverage at points, which is something I did not like to see. However, he had 8 combined tackles and he had an interception, very important interception late in the game. So from the standpoint of the safeties, Darnell Savage was playing a lot faster today. something Wes Hodowitz commented on Twitter in the middle of the game. And Adrian Amos, he got beat deep on that 75-yard touchdown by Jamar Chase. But overall, I saw some improvement today from the Packers safety group. This is a team in the Bengals that attacks vertically. They are going to attack you down the field, and I saw that the Packers recognized that. Their safeties did a little bit better. So it's something that I was okay with their production today. Still not at a level that I would like, but much better than it was before. So with that, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Mike. Yeah, I'm running this one solo. I don't even know if you're watching right now. But yeah, absolutely chaotic game. So much fun. Why do we stop feeding our players that are hot on offense? Nicholas, this is a fantastic question. So before I jump back into the defense, I do want to talk about this. It's something that Matt LaFleur really seems to struggle with. And take, for instance, that drive, second to last drive in overtime, when they had 8 minutes left. For some reason, with a beat up offensive line, period, Matt LaFleur decided to run the football 2 times and then send Mason Crosby out there. Davante Adams had his best game of his career, arguably, at least yardage-wise. And I get you don't want to stop the clock. You don't want to throw an interception. But throw the ball to Tay. Come on. Like, if there's anybody that I want to go for, and anybody that I'm willing to take a risk throwing the ball to or giving the ball to, it's Davante Adams. Anybody in the NFL, if I have to say I need 20 yards, I just need a little hook, I need a little cross, I need a little slant, who do I want to go to get me 15, 20 yards? The answer every day of the week and twice on Sunday is the man, Davante Adams. So that's number one. I agree, Nicholas. Why do we stop feeding those players? Number two, this brings up another thing that I was talking about during the game. We pay Aaron Jones for a reason. We paid him for a reason instead of keeping Corey Linsley. So it drives me absolutely crazy when we do not feed Aaron Jones, when we do not give him the touches that he deserves. Because today he got 14 rushes. He got 4 receptions. So he got 18 touches. If you're getting paid that much money, however much money Aaron Jones gets paid, I don't even know what it looks like after all the cap madness the Packers have done this year. But when you're paying Aaron Jones as one of the highest paid players on the team, you got to give him the ball. You got to give him 20 touches a game. Unless it's just absolutely not working, which don't get me wrong, he wasn't going crazy today. Most of his receptions were checkdowns. Most of his rushes were not doing anything crazy. But that's what Aaron Jones does. He beats into the defense. Then once he finally gets him to crack, he breaks open a 57-yard run. So if you're paying the man that much money to be your star running back, you need to give him the football. I understand A.J. Dillon gives you the balance. I understand what Matt LaFleur is going for. Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams are still oh boy. Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams are still the guys. But speaking of the guys, we have a little surprise here.
I was just checking to see if everything was going well, but it seems like Mason makes a game-winning field goal. I have to be in here. So,
oh, absolutely. So, Jacob, I don't know if you saw, I was already live when he hit the field goal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did.
I was turn screaming it on. My head off.
I couldn't turn it on because I was, oh man, that's like, a win is a win. They're all the same. I don't care about the rest. What's up, Dan? That is the worst coaching performance maybe in Matt LaFleur's career. And the whole game, I just texted one of my buddies, said that's the stupidest game I've ever seen.
That is absolutely the most chaotic football game that I have ever seen. So I've done plenty of ranting and screaming today already, Jacob. So thank you for coming and saving my voice.
Just got a few minutes.
What did you see in that game? Obviously, if Mason Crosby hits field goals, it's a different game and it's not even close. But like, what happened? How did we get here?
Sure. Piss poor in the red zone. Something that was a huge Packers strength a year ago was not today. The defensive side of the ball, if you're in the red zone, put 7 points on the board. Like, it's been that way. And then honestly, like, where the game turned for me of like, okay, this is just going to be kind of fluky in the way that it is, to where I was pissed off was They get the interception from Drake Campbell, which that dude has been a revelation, just a monster.
He's incredible.
And then they have no aggression whatsoever. They run the ball twice, lose 5 yards, kick the field goal on third down, which is fine. I know why they did that.
Yeah.
But you lose 5 yards, your kicker's struggling. Like, I just feel like you need to be more aggressive, and your best players are 12 and 17 and 33. And Devontae Adams didn't have a catch in overtime. Obviously I struggle with that. It's just bad in the red zone, bad execution. But the good news is they are 4-1, and they're 4-1 without David Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins, Zadarius Smith, Jair Alexander. I just named 4 of their 10 best players that didn't suit up today.
4 of their 6 best players. Yeah.
Yeah. You could probably shorten it. I mean, it's been a rough start to the year. They now play Chicago and then Washington. You should feel good about those 2 games, but after what I saw today, obviously I'm not calling anything money in the bank.
No.
But the Packers, they've got some work to do, no question. The offense, they've got to figure out a way to score touchdowns in the red zone. That's something that they haven't been good at for a lot of the season. They struggled with that last week. They struggled with that this week. So they got to get back to the gold zone and doing those things. Thank you. Shout out to Todd Varney, almost as ugly as the Brewers offense last night. And I'm blaming him for that because he was in the ballpark. So that's the reason I bring that up. But I was just coming in to check in and make sure that everything was going all right on your end. I actually have to jump, but I was setting everything up here for everything else. But I'm frustrated, but at the same time, I'm happy because I would rather have, I said this all the time when they won in 2019, I'd rather have an ugly win than a pretty loss, and they have an ugly win. So they're 4-1. And I think this is a team that's going to hit their stride and find, you're going to get guys back like Bakhtiari and Jenkins, and we'll see on Alex. If they don't get Alexander and Zadarius Smith back, they have to have one of those guys back.
Yes,
if they don't get one of those guys back, they're in trouble. But honestly, play to play, I thought the defense was pretty good today. They struggled in situational football, which is where this team seems to struggle right now. Red zone offense, red zone defense, special teams is self-explanatory at this point. But I'm gonna let you finish the shouting and the screaming and all that sort of stuff. Shout out to Mike Kawano, who is now 4-0 in his Rashawn Gary jersey. So change nothing for next week.
There you go. Sounds good. Thank you for joining us, Jacob. Love you. All right. That was the boss man, Jacob Westendorf. Love to see it. So he actually brings up something that I did want to talk about on the defensive end, which is with Jair Alexander out, we got to see a little bit of Eric Stokes as CB1 today. And, again, rookie corner going up against a duo in Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase that really are not a first-year quarterback wide receiver duo because of their time at LSU. So, Jonathan Vilma and company wouldn't shut up on the broadcast about the chemistry that those two have, which is absolutely true, 100%. But it was really nice to see the Packers have a guy when Jair Alexander goes down. You saw the number one corner mentality in Eric Stokes. He played very well. There were some mistakes. There were some mistakes from everyone in the Packers secondary today. That's okay. We can live with mistakes. But what I really saw, that first pass breakup that Eric Stokes had, he got beat on the line of scrimmage. Jamar Chase beat him 100%. But Eric Stokes has the catch-up speed. That's somebody else on Packers Twitter said, that's why you test for 40-yard dash time, because Eric Stokes can catch up even if he gets beaten. So that's something I really wanted to hit on at some point in the show. Is Eric Stokes is a baller. He's somebody who can go out there and he can absolutely cover across the board. Nate, you're gonna make me get mad. You're gonna make me get mad if you keep doing this. But you brought it up, so I'm gonna do it. And I got about 10 minutes left of my voice before it's absolutely destroyed. So Kevin King was back today. Number one, I will say he did make a couple okay tackles. He made a couple plays. He looked like he had learned a little bit more of the Joe Barry offense and was slightly more familiar. But oh man, the image I just had in my head all day is every time Kevin King messed up, had bad coverage, was playing too soft, it's okay. He'll be our third corner eventually. It's okay. He'll be the third corner. It's okay. He doesn't have to play against teams ones or twos. That's all I was thinking all day. And thankfully, that will be true at some point. I'm just looking forward to next year when it'll just be Jair and Stokes and Kevin King will be gone and we won't have to worry about Kevin King and I won't have to ever talk about Kevin King again because I'm really tired of talking about the guy because he should be extremely talented and extremely good on the football field and he's not. So once again, Kevin King, I don't want you on the football field. You're probably a great dude off the field. I'd love for you to come on the show so that we could, hash this out. But in terms of the coverage, what in the world are you doing sometimes? That's all that goes through my mind. Yes, they did almost blow today. It was very unfortunate. However, the Packers came out with a win. And that's what Jacob was saying we came out with a win. That's all that matters. We're 4-1 going into 2 very winnable games against the Washington football team and the Chicago Bears. Again, I'm not worried about those 2 games, but given what I saw today, should I be worried? I don't know. So what's interesting to me, and I really don't know if this is anything, but if you remember, there was apparently a hitch in the Packers field goal unit in their blocking. And so when Bobby Tunyon was on the right side of that line, he was getting destroyed because he had to pick one of 2 guys to block, and he always picked the wrong one. I don't know if this has anything to do with it whatsoever, but the Packers said this week that they fixed that hitch. I'm not a special teams guru whatsoever, and I'm not going to pretend to be, but you have to think that seems to be too much of a coincidence that they messed with the entire field goal unit's blocking and everything, and then Mason Crosby misses 3 field goals and an extra point. Is that actually the reason he missed those field goals and extra points? Probably not. But it still looks suspicious, doesn't it? I don't know. That's just something that popped in my head a couple times. I'm like, that's weird. I don't know how that works. Drake Campbell is the MVP today. He needs a running mate. And he has a running mate now. Something I have not talked about yet is the signing of Jalen Smith. I am very, very split on this signing in my head. We already have bad running game linebackers for the most part, although Chris Barnes did look very good today. So I will actually revise this. Packers have a good linebacking core now. And I'm going to clip this, put it on Twitter, and tag Mason Thompson in it. The Packers actually have a good running back. We have good running backs. Good linebackers. Let me start over so I can make the clip better. Mason. Packers have good linebackers now. We have 2 different units. We have our rushing unit. Camera, hello. We have a rushing unit, which would be Devondre Campbell and Chris Barnes. Then we have our passing unit, which would be Devondre Campbell and Jalen Smith. We have 2 good units of linebackers that we can put out there and not have to worry about Oren Burks or Ty Summers ever again. That is a beautiful picture for all Packers fans, and you should be very happy. So yes, Nicholas, you are correct. Drake Campbell is done much better, much better, and I'm very happy to see that. Silver lining this game that makes me excited to think about Campbell and Jalen Smith as starters next week. Absolutely. TJ Slayton also got some snaps. You are correct. So a little bit more depth from the Green Bay Packers defense. And this is something I've been saying for the last few weeks. I know injuries are bad. I know that you don't love to see your all-pro, your all-world players out. Like Jacob said when he popped in for a minute, having Z, Jair, Elton, and David Bakhtiari, 4 of your best 6 players out, that's not good. You don't like to see that. However, when they do come back, whatever combination of those folks do end up coming back, even if we don't get Z back, hopefully we get Z or Jair. But when those guys come back, the depth that we're going to have, because we're going to have a lot of backups, 2s and 3s across the board that now are going to have played significant rotational minutes. Sound like I'm talking about basketball, but they're going to play. They're going to have some good snaps under their belt. And the Green Bay Packers are going to have a lot more depth, in my opinion, than they had last year. We've gone down to our 4th and 5th corners now, and the Packers have been okay. So when you look at the offensive line, when you look at the defensive line, when you look at the edge position, across the board, the Packers are running very thin. But hey, we're still 4-1. So that's something I cannot be mad about whatsoever. So while you guys think of some more questions for me, I'm going to do a quick little run around the NFL. Today was a very chaotic day. It appeared that nobody wanted to win. Just a little NFC North update. Bears are losing. Actually, that is incorrect. Bears are beating the Las Vegas Raiders 7-3 with 13 minutes left in the second quarter. So that's a little bit interesting. Lions and Vikings. Lions and Vikings. I've been talking way too much today. I am very close to losing my mind. Lions and Vikings played. Vikings won 19-17 on a last-minute field goal, because that's the only way the Detroit Lions can lose. That's the only way they know how to lose. So NFC North is looking like Packers, Bears and Vikings, and then Lions at the bottom, who might even go for the first 0-17 season. They've done 0-16. That's nothing. Let's do 0-17. It appears Dan Campbell's espresso can do nothing to stop that. Other early action games, we had the Patriots. Close one over the Texans, but they pulled that one out. Titans defeat the Jaguars. Eagles pull one out on the Panthers. That is going to be the only game that screws with my 16-team parlay, and I'm very mad. Saints defeat the Washington football team. Buccaneers embarrass their Florida fellows in the Miami Dolphins. Steelers win a close one over the Broncos. And then the Falcons in the morning game in London. Poor London. They had to watch the Jets and the Falcons. That's unfortunate. But the Falcons pulled out a 7-point win in London. So that's what we have going on around the NFL so far. And again, no matter what this game looked like, no matter what the takeaways may be, the Green Bay Packers are going to come away 4-1 moving into what is almost a very difficult stretch. We need to beat Washington. We need to beat the Bears. And then after that, we're going to face a stretch where the Green Bay Packers may struggle. We're facing a stretch of the Cardinals, undefeated, the Chiefs. I don't want to know what Patrick Mahomes is going to do to our defense. The Seahawks, which could be a much less terrifying game if Russell Wilson is out. Vikings, Rams, Bears, Ravens, Browns, Vikings. Really, there's not a game where I'm 100% comfortable until we get to the Lions week 18. So that's what the Packers have looking at their schedule-wise. That's what we're looking for the next few weeks. Just the next two games, I've got Packers beating Washington football team, Packers beating the Bears. So I really do think Green Bay is going to go into that difficult stretch at 6-1. Even if we come out the other side of the Cardinals, Chiefs, Seahawks, Vikings, Rams with 2 wins, that puts us at 8-4 going into the Bears game. I think we win that 9-4. If we split Ravens and Browns 10-5, you win those last 2 games, 12-5 to end the season. That is easily a top seed in the NFC, easily winning the NFC North. Not worried about it whatsoever. So that's been our little run around the NFL. Love to see it. Once again, I just want to say, how can you not be romantic about football? Today really showed this is exactly what I wanted to be doing on a Sunday. Sit here, relax, rest up, and watch some football. Did my heart rate spike a little bit too high at the end of that game? Probably. Let's get a reading on that. Actually, it didn't go too crazy. It hit about 110, which isn't bad. But I was dying. I hate overtime, specifically. I hate overtime with a passion. It's awful. It's stupid. I don't like it. So, last few comments before we get rolling at the end of the evening. I love the Jamar Chase versus Eric Stokes matchup. It really showed what Stokes can do versus a number 1 wide receiver. Very good to see. And at this point, I feel sorry for the Lions. I agree. I don't really care that if they get a win or not. I feel bad for Lions fans. I don't feel bad for the Lions specifically. Dean Lowry looked much better today. I agree with that, Nate. So good to see from our interior. And keep in mind, Seahawks may be without Russell Wilson week 10. So that stretch could have a little bit of a break in it if we only have to go Cardinals, Chiefs, break with the Seahawks, Vikings. That stretch does get a little bit easier if injuries do pile up more and more for the Seahawks. So, once again, Green Bay Packers defeat the Cincinnati Bengals 25-22 today. It was quite the chaotic victory, but the Green Bay Packers came away victorious, and that is really all that matters. So, it's been 40 minutes of me yelling. I yelled all morning at the pre-snap. I yelled all of last night hanging out with my friends. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to let you go. You have a Bears loss to go watch. So, go Raiders. Go Pack, go. And this has been the Post Route on Game On Wisconsin, sponsored by Artec Ventures. Thank you to Artec Ventures for taking care of us as always. My name is MJ Hurley. I will be with you guys next week at the pre-snap for the Washington football team. No doubt about it. I will see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go Pack, go.